Yeah, what's good, beautiful people? It's Lifestyle on your screen, and today, guys, you're taking a look at the ET5t. This is the new ET5t, and of course, that's the new ET5. Okay. By the end of this video, I want you to tell me in the comment section which of the cars you're going to choose. And throughout the course of this video, I'm going to try to explain to you that these are not the 2026 version of these cars. That's the ET5. And of course, the ET5t. The ET5t, actually, if you've been watching my videos, I've actually shot a video already about this for the old version. And this right here is the new version. And the T right there in this ET5t stands for touring, okay? Like Gran Turismo touring, you know? And this is the ET5. So this is like the little senior brother of this one, you know what I'm saying? Of course, and this is a hatchback, and this one is a sedan. Like, it's a sedan-like coupe. You know what I'm saying? If that actually makes sense, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. You know, people always try to scold me and say, hey, a coupe is for two-door cars. You know what I'm saying? But this is like a sedan-like kind of coupe. And this is a hatchback right here. And guys, the two cars you're seeing right here are just having some enormous amount of upgrades that we're going to see throughout the course of this video. And of course, you're going to decide at the end of the day which one you think it's really cool for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what you drive actually defines you. So let me know which one you're going to choose right here. So they actually have some technological updates and a little bit of uplift and refreshment and refurbishment. NIO is not iPhone, that they're just going to change the casings and software, and they say they have upgraded the iPhone to iPhone 16, iPhone 17 to iPhone 29, you know what I'm saying? But this is just NIO right here saying, okay, this is us. So if you're watching any video and they're telling you that there's a 2026 version of a NIO, it is not. There's no 2026 version of the NIO ET5t and of course the NIO ET5. They are just the new refurbished version, which means that they have an upgraded software to some degree and some little bit of specs right there that they changed, but not actually entirely the modernity of and the model of the entire car. Some of the key updates that you're going to see with the new ET5t, which is not the 2026 ET5t, we cannot say 2026 ET5t. You have the design refresh, which actually means that they refresh the design with a sculpted front end design with a more dynamic look. Now you have a new Smart Metrics ADB, that's adaptive driving beam headlights. You also do have glossy black trim around lower body plus a blade style diffuser, which gives the car a sportier silhouette. And you also do have new 20-inch 5-spoke blade wheels, which is super impressive. And you also do have some other body color options that you can choose with the new ET5t. And when you go to the interior, there are some changes, a little bit of changes that you can see, which are not very peculiar, because if they put the two ET5ts, it's going to take you time for you to actually identify some of the differences. And one of these is the big horizontal 15.6 AMOLED center screen, which now has a 3K white color gamut, and also to have an 18.8 HUD display. Of course, you have an optional Ultra HD design review mirror for better field view. That's it if you want the mirror or if you want the camera. For the seats, you have 11-layer comfort structure, new foam, more ergonomic design, better lumbar support, increased legroom in the rear, better headrest. Yeah, those are some of it. And you have a more redefined ambient lighting. And of course, you have a digital cutting, lightning colors, and breathing rhythm effect. You also do have dual air-cooled wireless charging ports in the center console. Glass insulation and comfort. You have a front windshield uses double-layer silver coated glass, which blocks 99.9% UV to almost 90% infrared, which means it has better heat insulation than typical. The panoramic sunroof is a double layer blocking infrared from getting into the cabin. The chassis suspension and driving feel, like on the road, you have the continuous damping control, which has been improved to 500 times per second to adjust to road conditions as bumps and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you have a 4D smart suspension, which uses cloud-based road mapping to preemptively adjust for bumps. You also do have 29 suspension components which have been optimized. You have more larger language reasoning, which means that it can easily communicate properly with Nomi. And when it comes to range and efficiency, the only thing that I've actually improved again is actually taking the range from the ET5t from 520, just still running around just 550. I think it's still very low. Hi Nomi.
我来啦。
打开座椅按摩。
好的，帮你把座椅按摩打开了。
Hi Nomi.
在呢，
关闭所有的车窗。
正常关了。
开了没？打开后备箱。And when it comes to the ET5, guys, the new ET5 has a more sculpted hood, sharper lines, and more aggressive shark-like nose, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you have the new Smart Matrix ADB, adaptive multi-beam headlights, replacing the older light setup. You also do have updated LED daytime running lights, double dash DRS. You also do have new wheels, 20-inch 5-spoke blade design. You also do have new color options. You have a twilight glow and a new moon silver. And when it comes to the interior, guys, the center screen is now 15.6 horizontal AMO LED instead of the older vertical layout. And this time around, there's a large 18.8 HUD display in the ET5. Of course, you also do have options for an 8MP Ultra HD digital review mirror for a wider field of view. And the center console is also reworked, where we have a double 50-watt wireless charging pad. You also do have ambient lighting with digital curtain lighting with 16 million plus colors. The seats are redesigned, guys. You have 11-layer comfort structure, more foam, better ergonomic, more legroom in the rear. That's what they really claim, but you're really going to take so much precision to actually see some of these differences, because they almost look all the same. You know what I'm saying? They are just refurbished. Now let's go to the insulation of the car. The front windshield has a double-layer silver-coated glass to block UV and infrared, improving thermal insulation. And of course, you do have side windows also use IR blocking laminated glass, improving both insulation and NHV, that's noise performance. And we do have some chassis upgrade too, and your driving feeling. You have the CDC, that's continuous damping control. The dampers are adjusted to 500 times per second to road conditions, just like the ET5T, the new ET5T. And of course, you do have a 4D smart suspension, which uses cloud map road data to protectively adjust suspension. Yeah, I think the ET5T has a little bit larger trunk than the ET5, and of course, bulky things you can easily enter into the ET5T compared to the ET5, because this door right here is really small, you know what I'm saying? You cannot put a lot of stuff in here that are bulky. Right here it says the Champion Edition. When you go to the common things that both cars have, they both have upgrades for the new versions. Both the ET5T, there are things that you're going to see in the ET5T and that you're going to see the same thing in the ET5. And you may be wondering, why is there an ET5T and there's an ET5? Of course, they even do have the same starting price at 298,000 RMB. They also do have a lot of system, the technological system in building the cars. You're going to have some differences coming right here now with maybe the trunk space. The ET5T, the T actually stands for touring, which actually means that you're going to have more cargo space. When you're choosing the ET5T, you have fewer CLTC range. The ET5T has an upgraded 550 CLTC range. Meanwhile, the ET5 instead now has a 580 kilometers of CLTC range, which I think it's impressive. You know, but I think the ET5T looks much more prettier to me compared to the ET5. Like when it comes to safety, the ET5T is built to avoid more collision. It has more technology to avoid collision and stuff like that. It has more safety features compared to the ET5. The ET5T has a more tire monitoring system to avoid tire burst and stuff like that. If you care more about the sportier sedan driving feel, slightly better efficiency, more range, more compact, sleek car for city driving or performance, you can choose the ET5. But when it comes to the ET5T, this is what, if you're looking for these things in the car, like practicality, cargo space, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more space and room for the family. Rest is flexibility, like they're folding, and of course a towing, carrying capacity. You also do have like comfort. Actually, it's much more comfortable. Then you can take the ET5t. The ET5t is more lifestyle, utility, and sporty, while the ET5 is more performance plus premium sedan. And of course, whatever the little bit of upgrades, color, and the little bit of things that you want your own car to come with, that's how the price is gonna get changed. And to be very frank, guys, NIO is super luxurious when you step inside. Super great, super sleek. Yeah, the only issue I have with these cars is the range, which makes me to say this car is more of a city car. You can't really take cars like this for very long trips, like say you're going on a 4 hours drive out of the city and you ain't got time to maybe really stop. The only advantage again with NIO cars is that in China, you can be able to swap the battery as fast as possible under 3 minutes. This is the advantage that NIO has. But again, this is more likely a setting around in and around China. When you go now to other countries, like you want to go out to maybe Africa, maybe to Europe, I don't think, even though there's NIO in Europe, guys, but I don't think the power stations are almost as accessible as it is in China currently. And I hope NIO can really sort out this issue, because that's their only point. And that's the reason why they really don't make enough money, because you got to be building all of these plants everywhere you got to sell your car for people to be able to change their battery. This is kind of a slick marketing idea, but I think it's costing them more, because guys, just imagine you have to establish plants. For example, like say you're in Paris and you're selling car in Paris, or maybe in England, you got to establish plans to where people can change their battery and swap battery like that in almost every few kilometers around town, so that people can go swap the battery. And then imagine highways. You can be, it's not, I don't think most highways are as developed as China's highway. China's highway is super developed. This is the only issue with NIO, but if it comes to what this car can do, guys, this is one of the best electric cars you can ever have. And NIO is the only car that still remains purely a battery electric vehicle. They are not touching any of the cars to be extended range or PHEV, plug-in hybrid like that, you know what I'm saying? So they still remain purely battery electric vehicle. Now that you've seen all of that, guys, let me know which of these is your favorite, which one you're going to choose. I'm going to see you in my next video. And before we do that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video so that we can go worldwide. You know what I'm saying? The channel is growing, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for actually subscribing and watching the videos. It's growing. Thank you very much, guys. And please make sure you keep on sharing so that we're going to go international. Lifestyle is going to go international, and you are going to be the people we're going to praise for such explosion. You know what I'm saying? And peace out. I'm going to see you in my next video, where we're going to keep bringing you most interesting cars you didn't know exist. And of course, peace.